Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Draftbit Office Hour. I'm George, head of product at Draftbit. We're together for 1 hour. We're going to give a little bit of time for people to join in, and I'm going to have a special guest today. I'm going to invite on stage, quote unquote stage, David. So if you give me just 1 sec, um, I will add a invite on screen. That's it, screen, not stage. Much better. All right, we'll give him a minute to join as well. So, I hope everybody's doing okay. It's good. It's a good week so far. We've had a lot of small and big improvement these days at Draftbit. So while I don't usually use a Draftbit office hours to talk about new stuff, I encourage you to check out some of the site. Hey, David, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Thanks for joining me today. Appreciate that. The more
Yeah,
Draftbit employee, the better. All
yeah,
right.
it's like
So I think it's. Did you join one of the Tuesday one, or is it your first office hour with us?
yeah. Actually, this is my first office hours.
All right. So you'll see it's very, very casual. We just hang out for an hour and we open to questions that people might have. So for those who are joining now or for everybody who watch on YouTube later, there is a ask a question button below. So go ahead and click on that and ask your question there. It's easier to keep track of stuff if you put it there as opposed to the chat, which is on the right side. But if you want to say hi, do go to the chat. That's kind of the nice place to do that. And we typically go through questions that people might have live. And if they don't have questions, we go to the community website. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at this. Let me get set up a little bit. I'm going to pause notification just so we're not bothered. Okay. I'm going to turn a bunch of stuff off. I'm still, I moved recently and haven't properly put together my desk setup. So I'm still working out of one screen, which makes it a little tricky to go back and forth. But well, we made it work last week. We're gonna make it work this week again. All right, this is. I'm assuming you guys can all see my screen now.
Yeah,
Cool. So this is our Ask for Help section in the community website that we have, which is community.draftbit.com. And typically we're gonna, because I don't see any live question right now, so we're just gonna take them one by one. And maybe, David, you can help me answer some of those questions. So let's start with the very first one. Ideally, thinking about the process, we should figure out where we stopped last time and take them from the oldest to the newest. That seemed like the most fair thing to do, but because I don't know exactly where people stop on Tuesday, I'm just going to go with the newest one and make my way down. All right, so Dimitri, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is asking, take user addresses directly from map. How to implement? I want a map where user can put the place mark and it's gonna be his address.
yeah.
I see you ask a little bit about the package that they're using. Do you have any more thought or on that, or can I just?
Yeah. So basically, the way the question looks like when you're saying when the app loads or that particular screen loads, there should be a marker on the user's address. So like on load of the screen. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's determined by the package you're using. Because I don't think it's Google Map. Because if you like scroll down, at the end of the map, yeah, at the bottom right, I don't think that's Google
That's
Map.
true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's whatever library package using that would like determine how that would work. Obviously, we need to apply permissions and all that stuff, but yeah, still determine based on the library on how to add the marker.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe there's a way we can be a little helpful to that person. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I'm thinking about it is that is really trying to do two things. The first one is to find the position of the user based on his device. And the second
Yeah.
one is to then put that latitude, longitude on a map. So the first one, figuring out the user position, uh, I've actually done that myself. So we can demonstrate that. That might be interesting for people who want to try to do that. It's a low code solution, so it's not completely done in no code. There is like a couple of lines, but you can do that. And then the second part, we have been experimenting with a Google Map component. So to your point, this is not Google Maps, it seems. So this might not be exactly what that person is looking for, but for to answer the question more generically, for people who do want Google Maps, we are working on a component for that. It's the tricky part, just to be very transparent, is when we have to support different environment like the PWA, iOS, Android. So iOS, Android are actually fairly more straightforward for this specific component, but PWA is giving us a little bit of trouble. So that has been one of the reasons that we haven't released that component yet, but it is pretty high on our list of priorities. So we're going to get to that soon. But for now, how about we try to show how to get the latitude and longitude from the user? How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. So like I said, I did that in the past, but I don't exactly remember. So I'm gonna try to redo it live. Got it location. And if I remember correctly, what I used was the Expo Location package. So if you search for like Expo Location, here it is. It works on Android, iOS, web. Oh, what's happening with the font? Oh, here we go. That's much better. Okay. So first up, I need to install a custom package, which is Expo Location. And then I'm essentially going to reuse, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm going to reuse the code, the code snippet that they provide. All right, let's see if we can get that to work. As I only have one screen, let me know if at any point you guys, if I stop sharing my screen or whatever.
Yeah, we can still say it.
All right, cool. All right, so Expo Location, I just added that in our custom package import. And then, I mean, let's just be a little naive and let's just try to import that code and see what happens. Okay, so what does it do? This is React stuff, platform, style sheet, text view. Okay, the real important part is this thing here. Oh yeah, let me do, oh, not what I meant to do. Oops, sorry. Here it is. I'm just gonna keep that here for now. What I need is this, yeah. Right. What I need is to create a component. Right now it's kind of the app, so it's not exactly what I want. What I want is a component that is called like location component. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I feel like I have to say it every time. I'm a Python guy myself, so I'm always getting a little bit confused by the syntax. So tell me if I got that wrong. All right. How does that look? Is it not supposed to be that? It's not. What am I doing wrong?
I think it was like an equal to before, like before the parentheses, I think.
Here?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Then before the other one's supposed to be like an arrow function. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Now they got, oh, let me use that prettier. Oh, is it prettier not working? I expect those to get like a line or something. I guess a prettier is having difficulty. All right. Well, still, I guess I don't need this one. Maybe it's because it was not. All right. Now it's prettified. Cool. So what do we have here? Location component. We got location and error message. It's a use effect. Asynchronously is going to request the permission, and then it's going to set it in that location variable, and then it's going to put it in a text, and the text is going to be the JSON stringifier, the location, or the error message. All right, that's right. So the way, now that we've created a custom component here, the way you add it to your project is we have this like custom code component. You go there, and then all you have to do is kind of give it the which component you want to load. So that should do it. Location component. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what happened if we just run that. I probably missed a couple of stuff, but
Yeah, it should display the latitude and longitude.
the what? Sorry.
I think you display like the latitude and longitude of the user. I think it's supposed to like
Right.
use Android or iOS. So, okay.
All right. So style is not defined. I might have to. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't really care about any of that style. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Um, yeah. That should be good, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So now it's waiting. Here we go. Ooh. Well, I guess now everybody know where I live. There's that.
Yeah, and it
It's
displays
okay.
the
It's not.
context.
Right. So this is awesome. Let's try it on the phone. I have little sneak peek. We have a new. It's a really beta, but we have a Draftbit live preview. Remember how we have for everybody who's tried the Expo Go preview. So now we've kind of forked that out just a little bit. And the reason is mostly so we can do stuff like it's really just relying on Expo Go. We're not like kind of re-implementing or reinventing the wheel at all. But it allows us to do stuff like deep linking and maybe like push notification and stuff like that. So that's the reason we've been experimenting with that. Still very much an experiment right now, but I figured I might as well show it. So it works the same way. You're gonna scan the QR code that you should be seeing on the screen. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I guess they can always get to download that from the App Store.
Say it again. Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, everybody can download that. It's in the iOS and Android store. Okay, so it's now loading. Oh, it says. Let's see if I can still see you guys. Ooh. It says waiting. I'm wondering. I might have some. I might. It might require some permissions. Let's give it a minute. It's
Yeah.
still blocked on the waiting right now. Yeah, while we wait, I'll keep it on the side. While we wait, so the way I've used it before, just to provide a little bit more context for everybody, I did that little like weather app I should have showed. That's kind of the result. So um, the way it does, it kind of asks for a zip code, but I was experimenting with not having to ask for the zip code and try to just get it yourself. So yeah, you can see here I was getting a bunch of errors or successful if it worked. Um, yeah, the cool thing you can do. So once you get the latitude and the longitude, you can start doing stuff like I want to see if I can show it somewhere. Um, where did I do that again? I might have done that with Xano. I will then use that latitude and longitude and try to call a bunch of API. I think I used one that was called tomorrow.ai maybe or something like that. Tomorrow.io that was just giving me the weather for a specific. Once you have the latitude, you can start to do a bunch of cool stuff, which is very nice. This is what I wanted to illustrate here. But going back here, I'm still waiting here, so there might be an issue with that. So I'm going to try the Expo Go instead. Just see if that works better. Like I said, our live preview is really much a beta. So, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's loading the Expo app. Oh, and you can see it's asking me for location permission. So it's essentially saying, okay, you're ready to share your position with the Expo Snack app. So I'm going to allow that. And then I finally get my location, so latitude and longitude in my app. So that works. I guess we find one issue with our own app, but still work with the Expo Go. So yeah, that's essentially how you do it. Let me show it again in the browser so everybody can see what the format looks like. Can ask you to wait, ask you for permission, and once it gets here, you have latitude, longitude, the accuracy, altitude accuracy, and the timestamp. So pretty helpful stuff. Hopefully, let me go back to the original question. Hopefully that answers half of Dimitri's question right there.
Yeah,
Anything
exactly.
to add, David, or you think we can move on?
Yeah, so with the coordinates that we have, we can use it to like feed this library, right, to point the marker to the exact location of the user. Also, like with the coordinates, you can do so many things, like with different use cases, not just with maps. Like you did earlier, like with the weather map, with the weather to get the current weather of the user location and all of that stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah,
try out different things.
yeah. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the second question, which is picker error when choosing a value. Um, Oh yeah, that's a good one. Do you want to take this one and maybe because I know you already figure out what's going on, can you share a little bit of more on that?
So I don't fully know like the exact use case it's trying to use here, but usually like using the picker component is basically like having like a drop down, right? So the options are supposed to be like single like strings, like it's in an array, right? But like in string, like let's say types of fruits, you can say apple, orange, pineapple, like whatever, really. So, but in this case, the list of options are in form of an object. Like each of them are like it's like an array filled with objects, right? So I'm not exactly sure of like the use case here, but if Dimitri can get back to me, we could like take a closer look of what exactly it's trying to do, just to
Yeah,
like understand the use case properly.
yeah. Uh, Maybe I can also quickly show how to use a picker for people who don't know to do that just yet. Essentially, what you just said. So I'm going to create a simple new app, and I'm going to add a picker. And for the picker, we have a couple of options. So um, those are going to be all the options here. And so you can, I believe, to your point, you can just say apple,
Yeah.
orange, kiwi. Okay. Okay. So that's my custom value. And now when I preview that, I think can be, I'm able to see the result. And so maybe I can also do like, oh no, sorry, that's the label.
Um,
What I want to do is if the, yeah, I want value to be Apple. So like by default, it's going to be Apple. And I can change it to orange or kiwi, whatever. Now, so that's actually not, I believe, in our doc, the fact that you can put just a list of string,
I think
because
it's
it is.
yeah under like the picker components. Although I think it on the docs it was in an app variable, so we didn't like write it like hard code it on the screen like you've done.
Yeah. I guess you're right. We
That
did show it here. Yeah, all the data. You're right. So this was a little shortcut that our engineers did. The fact that you can just put it in a list like this. If you want more flexibility, you can also put it, and I'm mentioning it because I think that's what Dimitri is trying to do here. You can also put it in this format, which is you give it a label and a value. So you're only going to see the label on the UI, but once you want to maybe you want to update a database with that value, so then it's going to be the actual value and not the label. So a good example of that is if you want to pick different languages, you'll probably put like English, French, whatever, but the value might be like fr dash fr for the actual locale. So you might want to have a value from a data point of view that's slightly different than the label. If you don't worry about it, just do it in string. Let's try to demonstrate that. So if this is
okay.
it, I'm gonna have to. All right, so now, oh, I don't know why I guess it did not update. I'm just gonna reload the browser. Give it a minute. Well, not a minute, a second. Oh, it's because I'm still setting it up here to the wrong thing. So here I probably want to do like 42. Okay, and now because I selected 42 as a default value, and 42, if you remember, is the value that I use for the label foo. So now foo is selected by default, and I can go and change it to bar, changing back to foo and all that. So that's kind of the way to give you more flexibility. Now, the last thing I want to do is it sounds like Dimitri is having a bug with this. So let's find out. Let's try it. So I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to try Dimitri's example. It seems to be in Russian, so obviously I don't understand what I'm writing, which I apologize if there's anything that should not be on screen. But here it is. I really don't know how to read that, but the like HA1 and then I assume this one's like no value and then OH. So let's see. HA, no value, OH. So yeah, it works, which makes me believe that Dimitri, you're running into a different issue. I bet it is not. Yeah, I bet it's not directly related to the picker itself. It might be what you do with the picker after someone, like the actions that you've set up for that picker to do. Maybe you update a database or anything like that. So maybe that's where the error is. So maybe let us know once you a little bit more detail on that front.
Yeah.
How does that sound? What do you think? Anything else we can do to help that user, or that was pretty much it?
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I think that's it. That covers like the option thing you talked about just now, like using it with label to like direct to the value and all of that. I think that covers it. But if that's not the main issue, that is what the main blocker is saying, I guess he would have to like um add more explanation.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So down here. By the way, I'm gonna post those videos at the right timestamp in those response. So though Dimitri, even though he's not here, should hopefully see that we addressed his question.
Yeah.
Hey Karl, I saw that Karl is in our live stream as well. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Are you guys gonna release and add phone field input with mask? When user click in phone form field, it should not let write letters, only numbers, and it should give user a mask for phone. What do you know what a mask for phone mean?
No, I don't. I was about to ask. I'm not really sure.
All right, so Julian, sorry, I would never pronounce it correctly. You can use number input. That is good point. You can also change
Yeah.
the keyboard type for input component. Yeah, let's try that because I've not. I've tried. So let's see. The number input is a new component that we released very recently, and that lets you enter numbers, obviously, but not text. You can see, but I'm typing a bunch of letters and it doesn't work, but text works. So that's convenient. You can use that. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, what is going on here? Do you see that bug?
No, what happened?
So I'm typing letters, and when I go back and delete the zero, the letter changed. Look, I just typed whatever. I'm actually going to save that string just in case it's specific. Oop, to the screen. So now I just erased numbers one by one. And when I get to the zero, look at that. The number actually changes. That's insane. Let's see. Obviously, I should probably not display those issues, but I'm curious to see how do how does that work? What was the specific number? This is a number. Can I just reproduce it here if I just do that? Yeah. Oh, it worked. That number breaks for some reason. That's insane. Anyway, we found a good bug. But this, despite this specific thing, the number input does work pretty well. So you can use that for phone number. Now, what Dave was saying is that you can also use the text input and set the kind of configuration to be, where is the keyboard?
Yeah, keyboard type.
Why am I not seeing? Is it in the advanced option? Yeah. Keyboard type. Okay, so we're gonna do phone pad. Yeah, let's give that a try. Well, maybe it's let's preview to see, because it might be that just web is not really doing anything, but iOS and Android have their own font type. Yeah, so web lets me enter anything, so it doesn't really help. Let's see about. Oh, here. Oh, yeah. So on Android, as I select the field, I can now. I have that like phone keyboard, so I can do all the phone stuff, which is awesome. Okay, what
Yeah.
about? Oh, I guess iOS is taking. iOS is coming up. Tap to play. Maybe iOS is not working very well today. Anyway, hopefully that illustrate. Oh, it's coming up. Illustrate that. That's what happened when you select the phone pad. So I think that address some of the question except for the mask, which I'm still not completely clear what it is. Did the person want to have like for a US number, you'll be like 3-digit for the area code, and then 3 more digit, and then 4-digit. I don't know, like a formatted way. So same thing on iOS, because I selected that phone pad, I can now only see the letters, which is great. Okay. Sweet. Well, that answers some of it. Anything else on that you think we can add?
I guess he has to like shed more light on what exactly the marks is in this case.
Yeah.
So that would help us find a solution. And yeah, Carl is saying hi on the chats. Hi, Carl.
Hey, Karl. Okay. Moving on to. Before I move on and forget, I'm gonna save that string of text that was causing that issue, because we're gonna look into that. That was super interesting. Okay, so moving back now to the next question: how to make required parameters in post request. Has that been answered? Not yet. So, for example, I want to post an order to Airtable base, but don't want post it with empty fields. When form inputs are not filled, when form input are not filled. On the screen above, you can see that form was sent with empty value, empty string. How to prevent it?
Okay, that's looking like a form validation thing.
Um,
Yeah, I think it looks like a form validation issue.
is
Like
it?
it
Yeah.
send empty text from the app, I think.
So is it that the person wants to do form validation, or like when they do a new entry, or maybe it's they want to update an existing entry, and the user will just update one part of it but not the rest. But when we do the post, does that erase everything else, everything but the thing that the user updated? You know what I mean? I'm
You mean like updating a bunch of values, like just updating a single value out of a bunch of values? I don't really get it.
so maybe let me try to walk through that quick. Required parameters. So I think what you talk about is probably the right answer, meaning the user is trying to post something in a table and they want to enforce that something exists. So let's try to do that very quick. I'm not gonna do Airtable because it just takes a couple of minutes to set it all up with the API keys and everything. But I'm gonna use our own backend. Here's an example at Draftbit.com. That's an example backend you can use for anything you want. This is what it looks like. It's just kind of a free service that we give to everybody, so you can essentially mark or mimic or fake a backend. So that's kind of convenient. So I'm just going to do author and get them all. It's going to be this. Okay. And then author. So this is going to be a get for all the author. Okay. I'm going pretty fast because that's something we've covered before. So in my fetch component, I can get that service, that specific endpoint, and for each item in that fetch, I can iterate through each one of the results and then show it on the page. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to show the person's name. Okay, so that's it. I just showed this backend on my app. Now, what the user wants to do, let's say I want to create a new, this is cool, but if I want to create a new entry to my Airtable or to my backend, I'm going to do a view, and I'm going to, in there, I'm going to put text input and a submit button. Okay, so let's say we want to add a new person. So that's it. I'm going to change the placeholder text to say person. All right, now this is person, and this we're going to change to say add. Okay, add a. So now when I click submit, I'm going to put that behind a value that I'm going to call. Okay. So now when I click the add a person, I'm going to do an action. I'm going to do an API request to that same service, but I don't have an endpoint for it yet. So I need to create another endpoint that is just to create author. And it's just going to be a post, create an author. Okay. Get that endpoint. And body, I believe, is going to be something like okay. Um, my test data. Okay, so now I've added it. If I look at my backend, I've added that person. Okay, so this is my endpoint to add something. So I'm going to use it here, create, and I'm going to give it the value. Okay, so let's try one more time. Now, when I use my app and I say Lily, add a person, if I go back to my backend, now I can see that Lily has been added. So what? Sorry, that was all just like getting set up to answer the question. So I believe what Dimitri is trying to do, like you said, David, is form validation.
Yeah.
So if there is nothing in here and I click add a person, and you can imagine maybe I did put a name, but I didn't put like a city or age or whatever. Now you see, I created something that is empty, and so that's what he wants to prevent. I'm assuming, given the question. So in that case, before I call the API, what I can do is a conditional stop. So we're gonna say, look at that person value, look at the value in that field, and tell me which one we're gonna do. So if it's
Like
true, if it's I'm gonna negate it because like if it's true, meaning if there is a value in there, I don't want to stop. I want to post it. If it's not true, I want to stop. So if it's false, I want that condition to be true because I want to stop. And obviously, I have to make sure that happens before the API request. So again, my conditional stop is going to look at the value of the field. If it exists, it's going to stop. And if it exists, it's not going to stop. And if it does not exist, it's going to stop. Okay, let's give that a try. So maybe I got that reversed. Every time you do like Boolean stuff, it's easy to like got
yeah.
it in reverse. But let's give that a try. Let's see.
Let's test it.
Tommy, added. Now let's look at my backend. So it was added. So that worked. Now, if I do empty again and try, see, yeah, it did not add it. After my Tommy, there is no record that's just empty. So that worked. So now I've essentially with one action done kind of a very, very, very basic, I'll admit, form validation. If you want to do more sophisticated stuff, you can probably do like a conditional stop that take that person but does maybe a custom function. So you can write your own custom function, not variable, and say only if like the name equal or the name starts with or whatever it is you want to do, only then do you return true or false. So then once you've created that function, you can select it here. So you can do more advanced form validation here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. The same thing applies to when you're talking about like passwords, or if you don't want the length, like if the length of the
Mhm.
user's input should like be a particular number or something. Yeah, so you might need like custom function to implement that.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Okay, I think I was gonna mention something. Oh yeah, quick thing. If you start to do more advanced action, there is kind of something that's convenient is that log to console. So you can always log whatever you want. And that will let if I put that up before my conditional. Now, as I'm testing, if I go here, console log, I can see what the result is. So, I just had nothing and clicked add a person, and I can see logged essentially nothing, like it's empty. But if I say choo now I can see that toto. So that kind of it's essentially a console.log. So that lets you debug stuff if you started to get a little confused with all your actions. So it might be convenient.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Um, I think that's hopefully that's helpful. Uh, if not, let us know, Dimitri, if we missed something. Okay, next one. Any suggestions for Profanity Filter API? Ooh, Profanity Filter API. And Dave suggested this package. Profanity, interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, this is actually the first time hearing about this package, honestly.
Hmm. Should we? I'm not sure we'll be able to import that because I'm not sure that's like. Uh, let's see. Let's give that a try. Is that this one? Maybe not. Replaced. Well, I can't. I'm not sure if it's the same one that they recommended.
About right.
Guess not. What?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's the
I'm
same
not sure.
page that Dave talked about in his post.
It's not the same. You're saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's the same. Wait, let's go back. Let's check the name.
Yeah. Yeah. This is tutor profanity. Yeah.
Yeah,
This.
that's the name there.
I'm wondering. Does that add profanity or I'm a little bit confused. Or just, I'm assuming the point is to remove it. Random replace it. Oh yeah, this one adds profanity. So this is probably not what we're looking for.
Yeah,
Right, this is the one. Okay.
yeah, that's the one.
Okay. So I'm not sure we can do that kind of uh, add import, but let's give that a try. I'm gonna create a little profanity.
Hmm.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Are we trying to like are we doing a deployment while I'm doing a little live demo? Okay, so let's see. Can I import that? So then in my custom component, how does it work? This, let's see. All right, I'm going to put in profanity, so I'm going to do this. Oh, profanity exists, so that's just going to be true or false. So
Okay.
what I really want to do is use a custom, just to replicate this example, I kind of want to use that in a custom function, right? Well, first, yeah, let me try to do it in a component and then we'll try to put it in a function. So let me just
I think, okay,
point
so from what I'm seeing, uh,
sorry, I'm doing a little bit of steps here. Okay. Right. All right. Should that, how does that look?
um, I'm not sure that'll work because, wait, let me look at this. I think we're just like adding JavaScript directly inside the text. Instead of have like a, I don't know, double, exactly the curly brackets. Yeah, thanks, Raul.
This? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. You're right. Okay. Let's give that a try. Thank you, Rahul. Custom code. Code. So I'm hoping to see like a true or false, which is not very helpful, but I just want to see if it works.
Well, it could be helpful, like if the user is submitting a form, right?
Yeah.
And you're just trying to check if there's any profanity, like in the text or the value that the user
Yeah.
is submitting. Okay, so there's an error.
Yeah, and that might be because the library, because of the library we use. Um, I'm wondering if there is a more bad words. Let's see. That might requires filter clean. Could that do it? All right. So this is an issue, but that's. I don't want to spend too much time on it because that could very well be the library. So I'm curious to try this one though.
The second one.
This one, right? So now, what if? Okay. What if I? How would I go by using it? It works the same way. I guess that's not gonna. That's my.
Mm.
It's, yeah. All right. I'm gonna try just for one more minute, and then I might move on to something else. Filter required. Oh. Wait. So can I just do the same thing? So should that be working if I do just get my filter from there? And then I'm going to try. Oh, no. Okay. And then what if I try? I apologize for people who are saying profanity on the screen because of this. Any chance that would work?
Okay, let's try it.
Filter.
Okay, does that in a
Filter
constructor.
is not a constructor. I thought it was in the example, wasn't it?
Um, hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if Expo has something. Probably not. Okay. All right. Well, I don't. I guess to Dave's point, try to use a library the way we've been trying to do it, but hopefully with better results. And
Yeah,
maybe
looks like the errors are from the library itself. I'm not really sure. I'll take a closer look at this.
try one more, and then we can. I'm pretty sure I'm not using that filter thing the right way. So I mean, um,
I think with this one, we can use it directly.
oh well, if that's the case, maybe I could have done that in the first place, right? Should I have done that in the first place, like this filter, and then is that better? Oh, it did work. All right.
Wow.
So it's my poor knowledge of the proper syntax here, but essentially, so I'm importing the bad words package that I custom imported here, and then instantiating the filter, and then using that filter to clean that sentence. And so now that sentence has been cleaned with like asterisks. So that's pretty cool. That was step one. The real thing I wish I can do is use that in a function, right? But I'm not. Like I wish what I can do is like, let's say I have a text input. Oh, something's taking a bit of time to load. Okay, I have a text that says, "Hello." Okay, hello, and then I kind of want to be able to um, have whatever name is there. I'm going to say YOLO because there is no profanity there, but oh. And then I want to be able to use a custom function here, right? So the custom function would be, wrong link, something that would be here, and the function I will do add and do profanity, remove profanity, for example. Yeah. Um, but the part I'm not sure how to do is then how to maybe if I let me try. If it's
Okay, you're trying to use the package in a custom function.
right, so it is defined here. So I'm hoping I can just access that filter. So if I look at the code, it's like, yeah, but it's
Does
going to
it
be in a
support-
custom component. So I don't think it's going to work, but let's, okay, what was the example for the profane? Won't be an asshole. Okay. Oop. All right, so don't be an asshole. Now, what if I run that through that remove profanity? No, yeah. So filter is not defined, which makes sense. I don't have access to it here. And the way I would need to access it here is like, what if
I think you have to export it.
yeah, exactly. But how does that, is it how it works? I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to, again, my poor writing skills here, but fine. What if I export this entire thing and then that work better? No, still not defined. Not sure. So that goes in the custom code. I'm not sure why. Oh, maybe I need to do this custom code. Maybe I need to reference it with the custom code. Let me try one more thing, and then again, I'm going to give up. But if I do this, oh, here we go.
It worked.
It worked. So now it's essentially the same thing, but it's kind of cool to be able to have access to a custom function. Yeah, because as opposed to like a component, because I'm assuming, you might have like a bunch of text everywhere and you just have to run it through that remove profanity function and it'll do it all for you. So again, what we did was importing the library, not this one, which we did not successfully make work with this one, the bad word ones. And then you can either do it here as a custom component, or you can just export it here and then use it in a custom function instead, but you do have to reference like custom code.
Yeah, custom the filter.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
we were gonna make it. I think we went pretty.
yeah. I was a little confused too, like using the package inside a custom function.
Yeah. So hopefully that answers Coco's question. I think so. Okay, and I think we almost had time. Let me see if we have time to do one more question. Otherwise, we're just gonna wrap it up.
I think
Go ahead.
Karl put in the chat like he posted a
Ooh,
question. Someone
thank
could check.
you. Oh, and so I also just noticed that Rahul, as usual, had the answer in the chat. I should have checked that earlier. Sorry. Thank you, Rahul. Okay, you're right. Carl has a question. So the question is, I have an add like to a post action. Add like in Instagram, I assume. Okay, it updates immediately on a feed of multiple posts. Query React query. Yeah. However, when I add that to a single post, the
George, I'm not sure we're seeing your screen right now.
oh well, because I'm reading. Sorry, I'm. The question is actually live in the um, crowdcast thing, so you might not be seeing the question, but I mean, the
Okay.
people who are live can see the question, I assume. For everybody else, I can post it. I'm going to post it in the chat so you can see the question. Um,
We see.
So, however, when I add that to a single post, the React query doesn't work. The actions role is create an object is proof. Link to video. All right, let's see if we can unblock Karl in just a minute. Um, I'm gonna. That's the video that Karl sent. I assume you guys can see it. Right, it's loading. Like single post in query React. Add a like. It's a post. Creates proof. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay, so it works for the feed, but for the oh wait, did it work? But for a single one, it did not work. Um, Karl, if you're around, do you want to send me the URL of your app if you're giving me authorization to look at it in public, if that's okay? Because it should work, I guess, the answer to the question. So there's probably a bug somewhere. Um, so if you have the URL, just send it to me. Otherwise, I can try to find it, but it's going to take me a minute. And that was interesting. Yeah, what was going on there? So the like did not work for the single one. Oh, I sent it to Slack. Okay, so I'm going to assume, again, that you're giving me authorization. Look at it during this live stream. So I'm loading the app. Can you tell me? Oh, single proof. That's the single screen, I assume. So that's the single proof. That's the one. So that's the text right here, and so there is a touchable light that does the API request. That's to delete the like. Okay. Oh, and I see you've got a little like conditional display, view like or view unlike. Nice. Let's see if it exists, you show the remove. If it doesn't, you show the like. Okay. Ooh, wait, this conditional display has no value. Was it meant to be like that? I'm assuming this one delete. Maybe that's the issue, because that way it'll always show up. So maybe you think you're looking at the second one, but you're always seeing this one. Sure, I'm wondering if there should be a value here. No, it should be. Maybe that's it. No, it should be inverse. All right. Well, um, so let me try to see. So this is to delete. Right. So this is to delete. So I'm assuming when the user is liked, if there is a user like, then you want delete. So I think that makes sense to me, but maybe I'm missing something. This one though, which is meant to add a like, so you should add it if there is none. So if, oh, I think you might have just edited it. So if the user like does not exist, okay, yeah. So that makes more sense to me. Do you want to give that a try? I think yeah, I see you saying you're changing it now. Tell me if it works. That might be what's going on. Um, and if not, maybe try to put some like console log as part of your actions to maybe try to figure out like,
Yeah, so it completely logs.
yeah, maybe the backend returned the wrong thing. I don't know. But let's get that. We're gonna give him a minute, give him a chance to try it out. I would try it live, but I'm always a little afraid to touch on other people's app too much. Don't want to like mess it up or be confusing to folks. So, but otherwise, the logic is pretty good. I'll just take a second to check your endpoints while we add it. Ooh, let me see. It was add like, which goes to Zano add like, and this one was delete like, which goes to Zano delete like. So in both cases, they go here. Uh, add like, delete like. Yeah, seems about right. You have them all under the right thing. It's a post, create proof. That's good. And then the delete like is the delete proof. Yeah, that's everything seems okay. Oh, you say no luck even with that change. Let me try it. Oop, I'm gonna reload the app quick. Unfortunately, after that, I might have to like we might have to cut it here. But let's see. So let's see if it's all user like doesn't exist and user like. Oh, see now it's this one that does nothing. Was that meant to be like that? Maybe we're doing like whack-a-mole a little bit. That's also why I don't want to change it myself. Like this, the second one now has no value in the conditional display. Maybe you meant it to be. Um, that's odd. Um, it sounds like it did not change it, but it disappeared. All right. Well, let's try to change that. Try to make sure they're both on, and then see if it works. We have to cut it now, but like let us know two things. First, if that's an issue, like you didn't change it but it disappeared, let us know because that's definitely a bug. Oh, your editor shows both conditional like correct. Let me refresh. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. So I'm looking at the single proof screen, the little like clap hands, and the view unlike container. This one is empty to me. It's odd. And this one is now correct. Oh wait, this one is not. Oh wow, there's a lot of weirdness. Oh no, now it seems to be all up to date. Maybe it was just a matter of like timing. Anyway, so now I see the right thing in my browser. I'm going to give that a quick try. All right. Oh, is image. I guess I have to I should probably do, if I want to test it the right way, I should probably, yeah, that's why I can't quite test. Oh, you've got a fetch error. Interesting. It might be because I didn't sign up or anything like that. So maybe I'm not able to actually test it. But yeah. So Karl, I'm sorry, we probably won't get to an answer right now, but try to see if everything is set up. And I'm not suggesting you did not. It might be on our end. There might be an issue where things got removed for some reason. So, but check that, and then try to use some console log to see what's happening. And if that doesn't work, post again in community, and we'll try to take a closer look at it specifically to your app. All right, sorry, not super helpful here. Do you have any more thought, David, on this issue?
I'm not exactly sure how this should go, honestly. Yeah, I guess if it doesn't work as you just said on the chat, it's posted to the community. So I'll just take a closer look at it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's essentially it for today. We've done a bunch of cool stuff. We'll post all of that in the community page. If you guys have any more questions after this live, you can always go to community.draftbit.com, go to the ask for help space and ask a question there, and we'll try to answer them. Thank you very much for joining me today, David. That's kind of nice to have you around and be alone in those office hours. Thank you for everybody who joined, and we'll see you again on Tuesday and Thursday next week. Sounds good?
Yeah,
All right.
sure. Great.
Thank you, David. Bye. Bye, everybody.